All right. I want to talk about two more songs of this record, which I consider your best performances, uh, together with Into the Sun. They are Savior of the World, and I
Right.
think this is gonna become one of the fan favorites, in my opinion, because it's the classical Michael Kiske Eagle Fly Free thing with high notes. And the
Yeah.
other song is Under the Moonlight. There's a little
Yeah.
bit different, and I love this song. Can you talk a little bit about these two songs?
Yeah, I think it was On the Moonlight. Either that one or Savior. One of those songs. I had a different approach at first. We were just recording it and stuff, and then I had the idea. You know what? The song needs a different vibe. It needs a bit of a rise and fall. Something like a bit ironical, like overdoing the lyrics a little. And so we did that, and that was a game changer. I mean, it was something that the song really needed. Uh, I mean, the whole recording process of the vocals was great fun. It was great fun. I did it in Tenerife with all the time I ever wanted. I was there for 2.5 months, and I was like singing in the evening when I felt like it. When I didn't feel like it, I didn't do anything. There was absolutely no pressure. It was a great atmosphere, and I think it's part of why it feels the way it does because there was just no time schedule or anything like that. I was like, if I wouldn't want to sing for a couple of days, no problem. You know what I mean? Um, and it's great fun to record in Tenerife in Andy's studio. I mean, he lives there, so it's like if I do something in the evening and I'm not so happy with it, maybe I can tell him, "Yeah, you should give it a try, or what if you try that part, or the other way around. Usually we have we switch days. It's like one day I do something and then maybe I do some replacement parts or something the next day, or I sing the day afterwards, and Andy sings the next day. So it also happens that sometimes he was doing vocals the evening, and I come into the studio and he said, we were thinking that you could maybe try that or whatever, or you put a harmony there. So we have this back and forth, and trying things out. And sometimes we would just move things to someone else. I remember that I was doing Universe, and I had when I was doing that middle part, it is a bit Queen-like, with the backing vocals and stuff. Kai was doing a talking bit before. There's some kind of a talking bit, and
Mm-hmm.
then I said, I think Kai should also sing the middle part because then he talks, then he sings, and live I could just be off, and then I'll
Yeah.
come back later and stuff like that. So he did that. But Sasha wanted me to do the whole thing, so I had to do it afterwards. But very often it happens like that. That you just we sound so different. Kai has his own voice that you just right away recognize. I have my voice, and Andy sounds different too. So it's like sometimes you just hear it. You just see, oh, that's a part that could sound cool if Kai would do it. Something like that makes it kind of easy. I mean, people always are surprised when I tell them this, but it is not difficult. It's really easy to figure out who could shine there, who could sing what, and we're just fooling around with it for whatever feels like the most interesting.
Okay, that's a good point. Um, how are the lines created? Each singer creates its own line without anyone else input, or do you create the lines together, giving opinions and contributing
You
to
mean
the
the
other's
melody
creation?
writing?
Sorry?
You mean the writing of the melodies or what?
Yes, the melodies.
Oh, that's what the songwriter does. I mean, the songwriter writes the song and he has a melody in the head. And of course, you can fool around with it a little and you can make it your own. But basically, when a songwriter writes a song, they usually want it to be in a certain way. They want a certain melody or something like that. Um, uh, yeah. And usually, most of the time, the songwriter knows who he wants to sing the song. But it changes when you have like shouting hooks, like shouting choruses. That's Andy. Andy can do that. He has this. He has the attitude for it. When he was always a Kiss fan.
Yeah.
Kiss have these kind of crazy, crazy night. This kind of hook.
Yeah.
So he writes like that a little bit. So not everything that he writes and it comes very natural for me when I do it. So it's like very often it's good when he does it because it's like a typical Andy Darius song, you know?
So you say that it's really easy, the vocal dynamics with Andy and Kai.
Yeah.
It was since the beginning. Was it challenging in the beginning?
It was just on the previous record, it was a little bit challenging with Kai because Kai was suddenly deciding he wanted to sing Skyfall, you know, after I did the vocals and everybody was happy. And I know he wrote the song with my voice in mind. I don't know how that happened, but suddenly he wanted to sing like a whole lot of the song. And that was the only time where we had a bit of discussions going on. You know, it's like, man, it's not gamma ray. We like you to sing, but still, it's like most of the people want to hear either me or Andy. You know what I mean? It was like because we were the typical voices. It's like it took a little while, but it was not so much about who's more successful. It's more what was good for the song.
Mm-hmm.
Because it sounded really good. And this is why you have like three or four, I don't know how many different versions of the song. They released single sides where it's like you have more Kai or other versions where there's more myself. We did when that was the only time where there was a bit of not a fight, but a bit of a discussion going down. It's like because the whole band, including the management, thought that I should sing the majority of the song because it's a typical Halloween song, and Kai was only doing that song. That was the only song he brought to the record, and everybody felt like, dude, it's like that's the classic sound, when
Yeah.
you write a song, and that was a bit of what was a bit of a discussion going down for quite some time, but finally we were able to convince him. This time around, there was nothing like that. This time around, he was just happy. When I was singing something and he came into the studio and was listening to it, he liked it. I mean, he was like really, really cozy and relaxed and yeah.